Hi everyone! Today I'm going to do a quick walkthrough on how to produce a frame animation in Photoshop. So, one of the first things that you need to do is you need to produce a folder that's going to contain all of your images that you want to animate. Okay? So then what we do is we launch Photoshop. And the important thing here is that we're not actually going to go to File and Open, which you would normally do with something. What we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we're going to go to Scripts. And from here, we're going to go to Load Files into Stack. So we'll get that up. When you click that, you get this dialog button up. And this is where you can see how it's important to have all of your files in one place in your folder like we did at the start. So from here, we click the Browse button and this will bring up my folder. There it is, Clock Images. And what I'm going to do is I am going to select all of the images that I want to put into my animation. Okay, so if we just go there and then we're going to open all of this up. If we go to OK. Now it might take a little bit of time to actually come through all of the images, but once they're loaded, one of the most important things that you need to do, and when these have loaded, I'll show you how to do it, it is to make sure that your timeline is selected, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So if we come up and we go to Window, watch this little frame down here. If we go up and we go to Window and we untick Timeline, you see how that disappeared? Well, we need to have that. So if we come up here, we go to Window and we come down to Timeline and make sure that's ticked. Okay, so the next thing is we need to create a frame animation. Some of you might find that you've got this when you click Timeline. So if I just pull that up there a little bit for you, and it says create video timeline. That's not actually what we want. What we want to do is we want to create a frame animation. So what I'm going to do is I put it on to create frame animation, but you mustn't forget to push the button, because when you push the button, that's when your actual first frame appears here. Now, I don't know why Photoshop did this, but over in the right hand side here, you can see a tiny little menu. And if you click on this, you can then go to this part of the menu here, which says make frames from layers. So if we click that, what you will find is that all of your images that you previously loaded into the stack have now been made into frames. So from here, the next thing to do is just test it. There we go. It's a bit slow to start, but it will speed up. We'll test it. And this is to make sure that everything is running smoothly. So this is a clock, a series of images that I shot about 2 years ago to animate a clock going through a 12-hour cycle. So once you're happy, if you then stop your animation, the next thing to do is to render it out. So if we come up to File and then we come down to Export, we then need to come down to Render Video. So we click on Render Video. Here's where we give it a title. So I'm just going to pop in there my animation. And then we can select the folder where we want it to go. I want mine to go to my desktop, so I'm perfectly happy with that. Make sure that your format is H264, so you can access that from the drop down here. And then you're pretty much, after that, you're pretty much good to go. So then if we just hit the render button, it will then start to render our video out. There it is. I've just seen it pop down below me. So it's starting to export the video now. Depending on the size of your files, it can take a little bit of time, but generally it should be okay. So we'll just let that render out. And then the next thing to do is just simply play your, let's just move me up there a little bit. The next thing to do is play your animation. There we go. Push the play button and there it is. If you want to see what it looks like, you can always loop it. So this, as I said, was part of a larger project. If you want to see the larger project, this is it here. I just put myself back up there. So this was the finished article. And there we go. I think it's quite cool, really. So that just shows what you can actually do by using frame animation in Photoshop. So that's it, guys. Go and have a go. See how you get on. See you. Bye.